New at 11 tonight, one of Georgia's most prestigious universities helping select students afford an education. Atlanta News First, Niamani Watson is live on the campus of Emory University tonight. Niamani, tuition will be waived for hundreds of students.
Yeah, Emory University says undergraduate students whose families make $200,000 or less will not have to pay tuition starting next fall. This year, tuition is more than $67,000 for Emory University students. The total cost of attendance, more than $93,000.
It's definitely like a hefty price tag on this institution.
The free tuition is for new or returning undergraduate students through the Emory Advantage Plus scholarship. Emory University interim president Leah Ward-Sears says she's committed to removing financial barriers so more students can attend Emory.
We understand that parents and students have to make hard decisions about college based on dollars and cents. They worry if they can afford the school of their choice.
Currently, about 3,100 undergraduate students receive financial aid through the Emory Advantage program. 60% of those students have scholarships that are equal to or higher than the cost of tuition. The new scholarship will increase that number to 80%. Nick Wadrick, who's a junior, is currently using a music scholarship and loans to pay for school. He says free tuition would be a big help.
I could allocate some of the scholarship money that I have towards different things like my housing or towards a meal plan or towards other fees.
To be considered for free tuition, students and parents must complete the free application for federal student aid and the college scholarship service profile. Live outside of Emory University, I'm Niamani Watson, Atlanta News First.